The tale begins not in a world of spells and castles, but in a quiet, ordinary suburb where a boy named Harry Potter lives a life of neglect. Orphaned as a baby and left on the doorstep of his cruel relatives, the Dursleys, Harry is raised in a cupboard under the stairs. He is treated as a burden, mocked by his cousin Dudley, and made to believe he is utterly ordinary, perhaps even worthless. Yet everything changes on his 11th birthday when a giant of a man named Rubeus Hagrid crashes into his life with the thunderous revelation: Harry is a wizard. Not only that, he is famous. Years ago, the darkest sorcerer who ever lived, Lord Voldemort, tried to kill him. Instead, the killing curse backfired, leaving Voldemort broken and Harry with nothing but a lightning bolt scar on his forehead. The wizarding world calls him the boy who lived. Swept away into a life he never imagined, Harry boards the Hogwarts Express, where he meets Ron Weasley, a kind but poor boy from a big family, and Hermione Granger, a brilliant young witch with endless knowledge. Together, they arrive at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, a sprawling castle where portraits move, staircases shift, and owls deliver mail. For the first time in his life, Harry feels like he belongs. He is sorted into Gryffindor House, learns to fly a broomstick, and discovers a knack for Quidditch, the high-speed wizard sport. But beyond the fun and wonder, danger lurks. A secret object, the Sorcerer's Stone, which grants eternal life, is hidden somewhere in the castle. Harry and his friends stumble onto clues: a three-headed dog named Fluffy guarding a trapdoor, strange break-ins, and whispers of betrayal. Their suspicions fall on the brooding Professor Snape, but the truth is more shocking. It is the timid Professor Quirrell who seeks the stone, his body possessed by the weakened spirit of Voldemort. In the final test, Harry faces him not with spells, but with his mother's love, the lingering magic of sacrifice that Voldemort cannot touch. The stone is destroyed, Voldemort vanishes once more, and Harry learns that while he may be famous, it is not fame that defines him. It is the friends he's found, the courage he's discovered, and the new home that has welcomed him. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Harry's second year begins with a warning. Back at Privet Drive, the Dursleys still treat him like an outcast, locking away his school things and trying to keep him from Hogwarts. But one night, a nervous little house elf named Dobby appears in his bedroom. With bulging green eyes and trembling hands, Dobby insists Harry must not return to school. Terrible things will happen if he does. When Harry refuses, Dobby sabotages him, causing chaos that gets him locked in his room. Salvation comes when Ron and his brothers arrive in a flying car, whisking him away to the warmth of the Burrow, the Weasley family home, where Harry finally experiences what love and family life should feel like. Back at Hogwarts, however, unease begins to spread. Mysterious messages appear on the walls written in blood. The Chamber of Secrets has been opened. Enemies of the heir, beware. Soon, students and even the caretaker's cat are found petrified, frozen stiff by an unknown force. Whispers circulate about an ancient legend. Long ago, Salazar Slytherin supposedly created a hidden chamber within the school, housing a monster only his true heir could control. Now, it seems the chamber has been opened again. Suspicion quickly falls on Harry himself. When he reveals his ability to speak Parseltongue, the language of snakes, fear grows that perhaps he is Slytherin's heir. Is the boy who lived also destined to be something darker? Even Ron and Hermione struggle to reassure him. The truth unravels slowly. Harry and his friends discover that Ginny Weasley, Ron's younger sister, has been acting strangely under the influence of a mysterious diary. The diary, once belonging to a student named Tom Riddle, manipulates her into reopening the chamber. In the climactic moment, Harry descends into the Chamber of Secrets, a vast underground lair of stone pillars and shadows. There, he confronts both the memory of Tom Riddle and the Basilisk, a gigantic serpent whose deadly gaze can kill. With only the sword of Godric Gryffindor, delivered by Dumbledore's Phoenix, Harry slays the beast and saves Ginny's life. But victory comes with a chilling revelation. Tom Riddle is not just a student from decades past, he is the young Voldemort, preserved through dark magic. The diary is destroyed, Ginny is freed, and Hogwarts is safe again. Yet Harry now understands that Voldemort's ties to the school, and to him, run deeper than anyone imagined. The shadow of the Dark Lord is not gone, it is only waiting for its chance to return. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry's third year at Hogwarts begins with unease. At Privet Drive, after an explosive argument with his Aunt Marge, Harry accidentally inflates her like a balloon and storms out into the night. He expects punishment, even expulsion, but instead he's whisked away by the night bus, a chaotic triple-decker ride for stranded witches and wizards. It is on this journey that Harry learns a name whispered in fear: Sirius Black. A notorious prisoner has escaped from Azkaban, the impenetrable fortress guarded by Dementors. The wizarding world believes Black betrayed Harry's parents to Voldemort, and now he is said to be hunting Harry himself. At Hogwarts, the arrival of the Dementors, ghastly, soul-sucking creatures, makes the atmosphere heavy and cold. Their mere presence sends Harry collapsing, forcing him to relive the screams of his mother as she died. But there is light amid the shadows. The new defense against the dark arts teacher, Professor Remus Lupin, proves kind and supportive, becoming a mentor Harry desperately needs. Lupin teaches Harry the Patronus charm, a spell of pure light to ward off the Dementor's despair. Yet mysteries pile up. The Marauder's Map, a magical document showing everyone's movements in the castle, reveals a shocking secret. Peter Pettigrew, thought to be dead, is alive. When the truth comes to light, the story twists dramatically. Sirius Black, far from being the villain, is actually Harry's godfather, framed for treachery by Pettigrew, the true betrayer, who has been hiding for years as Ron's pet rat. The revelations culminate in a heart-pounding night. Lupin transforms into a werewolf under the full moon, Pettigrew escapes, and Sirius is nearly executed. Using Hermione's secret time turner, she and Harry race against time itself, doubling back to save both Sirius and Buckbeak the Hippogriff. Though Sirius cannot yet live freely, Harry has discovered something he thought he had lost forever: family. The Prisoner of Azkaban does not end with Voldemort's return, but with Harry's growth. For the first time, he feels hope, carrying the knowledge that he has a godfather who loves him and a Patronus, his father's stag, to protect him. Yet the shadows of war still linger on the horizon, and Harry knows that danger is far from over. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Harry's 4th year at Hogwarts begins not at the castle, but with a taste of wizarding wonder on a grand scale: the Quidditch World Cup. For the first time, he witnesses thousands of wizards gathered in celebration, banners waving, tents stretching across fields, and magic filling the air like fireworks. But the joy is shattered when Death Eaters, Voldemort's loyal followers, storm the camp, leaving the dark mark blazing in the sky. It is a chilling sign that the past is clawing its way back. Back at Hogwarts, excitement surges when it is announced that the legendary Triwizard Tournament will be hosted at the school, bringing in visiting students from Beauxbaton and Durmstrang. The competition is fierce, dangerous, and only for those over 17. Yet to everyone's shock, the Goblet of Fire spits out a 4th name: Harry Potter. Too young, too unprepared, and unwilling, Harry is forced to compete in a tournament designed to test champions to their limits. The tasks are nothing short of terrifying. First, Harry faces a dragon in open combat, relying on his broomstick and sheer courage to outfly its fiery breath. Next, he plunges into the depths of the Black Lake, forced to rescue his friends from the grasp of merfolk and water demons. Finally, he enters a massive maze filled with illusions and dangers, its walls shifting to trap him at every turn. Along the way, his bond with Cedric Diggory, Hogwarts' true champion, grows strong. Cedric is everything Harry admires: fair, kind, and brave. But the maze is no game. At its heart lies a trap. When Harry and Cedric reach the cup together, they agree to take it at the same time, declaring themselves joint winners. Instead, the cup transports them to a graveyard where Voldemort awaits. In one horrific moment, Cedric is killed without hesitation. Harry is bound and forced to watch as a ritual unfolds, using his blood to restore Voldemort to full power. Before Harry's eyes, the Dark Lord returns, pale, snake-like, and more menacing than ever. What follows is a duel like no other. Harry and Voldemort's wands connect, the spirits of the dead, including Harry's parents, emerging to protect him just long enough to escape. But the victory is hollow. Harry returns to Hogwarts with Cedric's body, the weight of death heavy on his shoulders. He knows the truth. Voldemort is back. Yet the wizarding world refuses to listen. The innocence of youth is over, and war is looming. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. The aftermath of Voldemort's return is not triumph, but disbelief. The Ministry of Magic refuses to accept the truth, branding Harry a liar and Dumbledore a fearmonger. For Harry, this year is defined not only by external battles, but also by loneliness, anger, and grief. After the trauma of Cedric's death, he longs for guidance, but feels abandoned. When Dementors attack him in Little Whinging, Harry is dragged before the Ministry for using magic outside school, threatened with expulsion until Dumbledore intervenes. Back at Hogwarts, things only worsen. The Ministry installs Dolores Umbridge as the new defense against the dark arts teacher, dressed in pink and smiling sweetly, but hiding cruelty behind her kitten-cluttered office. Her lessons forbid practical defense, insisting students simply memorize theory. Any attempt to question her authority is met with punishment so severe Harry is forced to carve words into his own hand. Hogwarts, once a sanctuary, is now a prison. But resistance brews. With Hermione's encouragement, Harry takes charge, forming Dumbledore's army, a secret student group where he teaches defensive magic. Here, Harry discovers his true gift, leadership. Neville Longbottom, once timid, finds his courage. Luna Lovegood, eccentric but wise, becomes a loyal friend. And Harry himself realizes that passing on what he knows may be just as important as fighting alone. Yet Harry's mind is not his own. His scar burns with visions of Voldemort's actions, drawing him deeper into the Dark Lord's world. These glimpses become dangerous when Harry sees Sirius, his godfather, tortured in the Department of Mysteries. Determined to save him, Harry leads his friends into battle. In the vast halls of the Ministry, they face Death Eaters in a brutal clash of spells and shadows. Though young, the students fight with bravery, but the cost is high. The Order arrives, but the night ends in tragedy. Sirius Black, Harry's last link to family, falls through the veil, lost forever. Harry is devastated, consumed by grief and fury. Yet it is in this lowest moment that Dumbledore finally tells him the truth. A prophecy binds him and Voldemort. Together, neither can live while the other survives. The war is no longer a distant storm. It is here, and Harry's place in it is undeniable. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince Darkness is no longer a rumor. It spreads openly across the wizarding and muggle worlds alike. Bridges collapse, deaths mount, and Voldemort's presence is undeniable. But at Hogwarts, life marches on with a strange duality. Laughter, romance, and teenage quarrels blend uneasily with lessons in survival and the looming shadow of war. Dumbledore takes Harry under his wing in a way he never has before. Together, they embark on private lessons, peering into the past through the Pensieve. These memories, gathered carefully, unravel the secret of Voldemort's immortality. Dumbledore reveals the terrifying truth. Voldemort has fractured his soul into Horcruxes, dark objects that tether him to life. Until they are destroyed, he cannot die. This knowledge becomes the foundation of Harry's true mission. But while Harry studies these horrors, the rhythms of school life continue. Romantic entanglements bubble up. Ron and Hermione's growing but unspoken feelings create tension, especially when Ron briefly dates Lavender Brown. Harry himself realizes his feelings for Ginny, though he struggles with the thought of betraying Ron's trust. These lighter moments, though tinged with awkwardness, remind us that these are still young people navigating life, even as the world threatens to fall apart. Amid this, Harry discovers a mysterious old potions textbook filled with handwritten notes and spells from its former owner, known only as the Half-Blood Prince. With its help, Harry excels in class, even outshining Hermione. But the book is not just helpful. It carries a darker edge, teaching Harry curses he doesn't fully understand. Its presence is both a gift and a warning. Meanwhile, Draco Malfoy is set on a secret mission. Once arrogant and loud, Draco is now pale and withdrawn, burdened with the impossible task of killing Dumbledore. Harry suspects him from the start, but few believe him. When Harry finally confronts Draco, it is not as rivals, but as two boys trapped by destiny, each carrying weight far too heavy for their years. The climax comes atop the astronomy tower. Harry, frozen by Dumbledore's spell, watches helplessly as Draco lowers his wand, unable to commit murder. But Severus Snape arrives, and with chilling resolve, he casts the fatal spell. Dumbledore falls. Hogwarts, once a safe haven, is shattered. Harry now knows what must be done. The hunt for Horcruxes lies ahead, and the fight will leave no room for childhood. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Part 1. The final journey begins not with triumph, but with loss. The Ministry of Magic has fallen under Voldemort's control, and nowhere is safe. Harry, Ron, and Hermione leave behind their childhood and step into a world consumed by darkness. There will be no more classrooms, no Quidditch matches, no safety nets. Their mission is simple in words, but nearly impossible in action. Find and destroy the Horcruxes that anchor Voldemort to life. From the very start, the dangers are relentless. In a daring escape from Privet Drive, Harry is protected by members of the Order of the Phoenix as they use Polyjuice Potion to create decoys of him. The sky becomes a battlefield of curses and broomsticks, ending in tragedy when Mad-Eye Moody falls and George Weasley is badly injured. The message is clear. Every step will demand sacrifice. Life on the run is nothing like Hogwarts. The trio camps in forests, moving constantly, weighed down by the Locket Horcrux that poisons their spirits. Arguments flare, trust phrase, and despair creeps in. Ron, overcome by hopelessness, abandons the group, leaving Harry and Hermione to press on alone. Yet even in their darkest hours, small sparks of hope endure. A visit to Godric's Hollow reconnects Harry with his parents' legacy, though it turns deadly when Nagini attacks. Through encounters with Xenophilius Lovegood and the haunting tale of the three brothers, the trio learns of the Deathly Hallows, three mythical objects: the Elder Wand, the Resurrection Stone, and the Invisibility Cloak. Together, they promise mastery over death itself. For Harry, the connection feels deeper than coincidence, but their focus must remain on the Horcruxes. When Ron finally returns, guided by Dumbledore's Deluminator, the bond between the three is reforged. They succeed in destroying the locket with Gryffindor's sword, but the cost of their journey remains heavy. Captured and taken to Malfoy Manor, they endure the cruelty of Bellatrix Lestrange, who carves into Hermione's skin and nearly breaks their resolve. Salvation comes in the form of unexpected allies: Dobby, the house elf, brave and loyal, who rescues them at the cost of his own life. As they bury Dobby by hand, without magic, the weight of war presses down on them more than ever. The path ahead is grim, but Harry, Ron, and Hermione know there is no turning back. The final battle is approaching, and Voldemort has already seized the Elder Wand. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 2. The endgame begins with grief. Dobby has been laid to rest, but there's no time to mourn. Harry, Ron, and Hermione turn their sights on the final Horcruxes, each step pulling them closer to Voldemort's downfall and the ultimate confrontation. Their first stop is Gringotts Bank, where they infiltrate Bellatrix Lestrange's vault with the help of the Goblin Griphook. The chamber is a glittering tomb of treasures cursed to multiply, and amidst the chaos they seize Hufflepuff's cup. Another Horcrux destroyed. Their daring escape on the back of a dragon is both triumphant and desperate, a symbol of just how far from childhood they've traveled. But Voldemort senses their progress. His fury grows, and the final battle takes shape at Hogwarts, the one place that has always been home. Students, teachers, and allies unite as an army, fortifying the castle for war. For the first time, every thread of the story converges here: Neville, Luna, the Weasleys, even ghosts and forgotten faces all standing together. The night explodes in fire and fury. Giants clash on the grounds, Death Eaters swarm through the halls, and the castle shakes under the force of Voldemort's assault. In the midst of battle, Harry and his friends hunt the remaining Horcruxes: Ravenclaw's diadem, destroyed by Fiendfire, and Nagini, Voldemort's snake, still at large. Every victory is bought with loss: Fred Weasley, Remus Lupin, Nymphadora Tonks. The Great Hall becomes a place of both courage and heartbreak. Harry soon discovers the truth Snape carried all along. In his dying moments, Snape passes Harry his memories, revealing that he had loved Lily Potter, Harry's mother, from childhood. He had protected Harry at great personal cost, walking a razor's edge of loyalty. For the first time, Harry sees Snape not as enemy, but as the bravest of men. And then comes the ultimate revelation: Harry himself is a Horcrux. A piece of Voldemort lives within him, and it must die. With quiet resolve, Harry walks into the Forbidden Forest, meeting death as an old friend. Voldemort strikes, and Harry falls, but not forever. Through love, sacrifice, and the Hallows, he returns. The final duel erupts in Hogwarts' ruins. Neville slays Nagini, the last Horcrux, leaving Voldemort mortal. Harry disarms him, and with his own rebounding curse, Voldemort is finally destroyed. Dawn breaks over a scarred but free Hogwarts. The boy who lived has fulfilled his destiny not by seeking power, but by choosing love, loyalty, and sacrifice. Years later, the world is healed. On platform 9 3/4, Harry, Ginny, Ron, and Hermione stand together as parents sending their children off to Hogwarts. Harry's son worries about being sorted into Slytherin, and Harry reassures him with words that show just how far he has come, reminding him that it's our choices, not our houses, that define who we are. The cycle continues, not with fear or war, but with hope. The story that began with a boy on a train to Hogwarts ends with a new generation boarding that same train, the magic living on. Conclusion. And that's the journey of Harry Potter, from the boy in the cupboard under the stairs to the young man who faced the darkest wizard of all time. More than spells and battles, it's a story of friendship, courage, sacrifice, and love. The kind of magic that lasts forever. Hogwarts still feels like home to millions, and the films remind us that even in our darkest hours, there's always light to be found. So, what moment from the Harry Potter movies has stayed with you the most? Was it Harry catching the snitch, the heartbreak of losing Sirius, Snape's truth revealed, or the final duel with Voldemort? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this trip back to Hogwarts, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a fellow Potter fan. Because the magic never really ends. It lives on every time we remember it. Always.